Greetings, fellow thinkers. Let's spark those neurons and engage the cogs. Welcome to Psyche Academy, where we investigate the what, why, and how of the mind. Today, we're discussing Chapter 1, Introduction to Psychology, Part 1. By the end of this presentation, you'll clearly define psychology, understand its three core components, and trace the evolution of psychology as a science. The etymology and history. Let's start at the very beginning, the word itself. The word psychology is derived from two Greek words, psyche, meaning soul or mind, and logos, meaning knowledge or study. Initially, it was the study of the soul. As thinking evolved, early thinkers gradually transitioned from soul to the more scientific term, mind. Psychology, as an independent scientific discipline, is actually quite young. It emerged relatively late, formally separating from philosophy in the late 19th century. While its formal history as a science is short, psychology has a long philosophical past, as philosophy itself is an ancient field of study. As the famous psychologist Hermann Ebbinghaus remarked over a century ago, psychology has a short history but a long past. Now, for a quick historical note, while the term psychology was used earlier, it gained prominence in Germany during the 18th century, notably through the work of philosopher Christian Wolff. In the English-speaking world, Herbert Spencer played a significant role in popularizing the term, publishing the first volume of his Principles of Psychology in 1855. Defining psychology as a science. Defining any knowledge discipline is challenging. Why? Firstly, because disciplines continuously evolve. Secondly, the sheer breadth of phenomena they study often defies a single, comprehensive definition. This is especially true for psychology, a field with a vast scope and ongoing development. Why is it a science? Psychology is considered a science because it employs systematic methods like observation, recording, and experiments under controlled conditions to study behavior. This allows for objective measurement, which enables the understanding and prediction of behavior, which can then be applied to solve real-life problems. For example, studying different learning methods can directly improve teaching practices in schools and universities. Despite the difficulty, here are a few notable definitions. Morgan, King and Robinson, in 1984, defined it simply as, psychology is a science that seeks to understand and predict human and animal behavior. The American Psychological Association gives a broader scope. Psychology is the study of the mind and behavior. The discipline embraces all aspects of the human experience, from the functions of the brain to the actions of nations, from child development to care for the aged. But the most widely accepted definition today integrates all these ideas. Psychology is a science that studies mental processes, experiences, and behavior in different contexts. The three pillars of psychology. Let's dive into the three core elements of that definition. 1. Mental processes. These are our internal activities, things like thinking, remembering, feeling, and perceiving. We engage these processes when we are problem-solving, learning, or recalling information. These processes are reflected in brain activity, which can be observed using various brain imaging techniques. The mind versus the brain. The brain is the physical organ, the hardware. The mind encompasses our thoughts, feelings, and consciousness. Think of it as the software running on the brain's hardware. The mind is not a physical entity located within the brain. It actually develops through our interactions with the world. While they are interdependent, they are distinct. Psychologists study mental processes to understand how the mind functions, aiming to enhance our comprehension of thinking, learning, and feeling. 2. Experiences. Experiences are fundamentally subjective. They cannot be directly observed, only the individual having them is consciously aware. Experiences vary based on internal states, mood, thoughts, beliefs, and external factors, environment, social situations. For example, imagine you're stuck in traffic. If you're late for a crucial job interview and feeling stressed, it's a negative, frustrating experience. However, if you're en route to a vacation with friends, singing along to music, the traffic may be less bothersome or even irrelevant. Understanding experiences requires considering individual uniqueness and specific circumstances. Psychologists study diverse experiences like the pain of illness, the grief of loss, the joy of love, and altered states of consciousness. 3. Behaviors. Behaviors are the responses or actions we make, from simple reflexes like blinking to complex decisions like choosing a career path. Behaviors are often triggered by a stimulus, which is something we react to. For example, seeing a tiger, stimulus, might cause you to run, response. Stimuli and responses can be internal or external. Internal stimulus. Feeling anxious during an exam can lead to a racing heartbeat, internal response, or trembling hands, external response. External stimulus. Hearing a loud, sudden noise can cause you to jump, external response, or experience a headache or irritation, internal response. Psychologists study how stimuli and responses are linked to understand and predict behavior, which helps them address issues like anxiety or phobias. Let's take a quick breather before we continue. If this lesson is hitting the mark for you, please tap the like button now to confirm it. Next, take a second to subscribe so the future sections show up in your feed. Finally, please write a quick comment telling me what is making you stick with this video so far. Knowing this can help me improve all future videos. Done? Great. Now, let's dive into the next section. Understanding mind-body link. Psychology's renewed focus on the mind is largely due to neuroscientists and physicists who have legitimized its study. The mind is undeniably linked to the brain, but it is distinct. Think of phantom limb sensations, where a patient still feels a limb that has been removed. Or, cases of altered perception, like a young man claiming his parents were replaced by duplicates after a brain injury. Recent research in affective neuroscience and psychoimmunology clearly demonstrates this crucial link. Positive visualization and mental imagery can actually influence bodily processes. Imagine a sports psychologist having an athlete mentally rehearse a perfect dive. This can influence their muscle memory and performance. Studies show mental imagery can even help with health issues, such as reducing arterial blockage or overcoming phobias. The mind plays a crucial role in health and well-being, including immune system strength. Evolution of psychology. Now that we know what psychology is, let's look at when it truly began. Modern psychology formally began in 1879 with Wilhelm Wundt's laboratory in Leipzig, Germany. This is widely considered the birth of experimental psychology, as Wundt focused on empirical approaches to study thinking, attention, and imagination. Even before Wundt, Greek philosophers like Socrates, Plato, and Aristotle were trying to explain the human mind as early as 4 BCE. And French philosopher René Descartes considered the pineal gland as the seat of the soul, where all thoughts were formed. Another key early scientist was the German physiologist Gustav Theodor Fechner, who studied psychophysics. Key milestones. Wundt's student, G. Stanley Hall, set up the first formal psychology laboratory in the USA in 1883 at Johns Hopkins University. Hall then became the first president of the American Psychological Association, APA, started in 1892. And a final milestone, the first textbook, The Principles of Psychology, was written by William James. Initially, the focus was on mind and mental processes, but gradually, different schools of thought came up, emphasizing that the focus should shift to the study of behavior rather than just the mind. Finally, let's briefly touch upon psychology in our own context. Psychology in India, initially influenced by Western models, has evolved significantly. Early development, post-1916, centered around Calcutta University, with N.N. Sengupta and G.S. Bose played key roles. This led to the establishment of the Indian Psychological Association, 1924, and the Indian Journal of Psychology, 1926. SINA identified 4 key phases in its evolution. 1. Western influence, pre-independence, which focused on experimental and psychoanalytic research. 2. Expansion, 1942 to 1960, trying to connect Western ideas to the Indian context. 3. Problem-oriented research, post-1960, focusing on addressing societal issues. And the most interesting phase, 4. Indigenization, late 1970s onwards, which is the development of culturally relevant approaches, incorporating traditional Indian knowledge. Today, Indian psychology blends Western and indigenous methods, applied in diverse areas like clinical settings, HRD, advertising, and sports. So, we've defined psychology as the science of mental processes, experiences, and behavior. We've seen its long philosophical past and its short, formal history starting with Wundt in 1879. Thank you for your attention. That concludes our coverage of Chapter 1, Introduction to Psychology, Part 1. So, fellow thinkers, looking back over today's concepts, where have you observed these patterns in action, in yourself or others, or in a situation you've encountered? We welcome your observations. Please share your observations in the comments below. To instantly test your understanding, the review quiz is linked in the description. Next up, Part 2 of the Introduction to Psychology. To make sure you catch it immediately, check the playlist, Psyche Fundamentals, and ensure your notifications are on. I invite your questions now. What are you curious to know more about? Until next time, have a productive day.